I am Professor Vinster. Welcome to Jurplastic World.
Hi everybody, this is Professor Vinster. Now, we got a new tool today that it's not a new tool today, sorry. I've had this for a while and I've used it for a while, but I feel that it's so important to have one that I decided to do a video about it. Now, it's a actual filament pen. It's a 3D pen, they call it. And I saved the scraps of my filament to do repairs on my projects because when you're printing hollow projects, a lot of times what happens is because it's hollow, if you have a dip in it, for instance, like this part here, it tries to spaghetti it to put the fillet in, but it doesn't always work. I never worry about it because if I was going to put supports throughout it and fillers, it would be way too much material that I need and way too heavy for what I want. So I've gotten pretty good at doing repairs on them. So I let that slide and rely on my capabilities of repairing it. So today we're going to fire this up. First of all, in a repair job, and then I'm going to show you what else you could do with this machine if you're not a 3D printer of the sort of, and you want to do some other crazy cool stuff with it. So we will start within a few seconds. Okay, now we're going to fire this baby up. Comes up in the red light first. Here we go, like that. That tells the temperature. I get it set for PLA. So as soon as that light goes green, I don't know, the numbers could be upside down for you, which doesn't really matter. We will do it like this. Push that in, and I'll move up. Now this is, like I said, great for your scraps. Or you could run it off a spool holder. It all depends how about what you want to do with it. There's a whole bunch of, like, yeah, it's endless. And it's not an expensive tool. I couldn't actually tell you what the price of it is right now because I can't remember, but they're very reasonable. Actually, I have two of them because the first one I was a little rough on it and I broke the porcelain tip. And it wasn't that I was anyway, I dropped it, which I once in a while do that. So I got another one. So I mean, hey, stuff happens. Okay, so now it's green, so it's ready to go. It's got the buttons on the side. That's the start button. These are the out. If you push that once, it'll go. You push it twice, it'll stop. This is for the to extract. It'll extract itself on its own when it's done and sitting for a while. But anyway, so I'll activate it to go forward, and hopefully be able to see this. You'll be able to see this, I'm hoping. So it should start to come out very soon. Don't know what kind of an angle I would want. Okay, so now it's coming out. So I'm trying to fill in this hole. So I can actually fill across like a spider web if I'm fast. We'll start like that. Sometimes it works quick, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you got to go back over it. Sometimes you got to go, but you get the idea. Faster, sometimes you go slow, sometimes you go fast. It's not going to do it all at once. Don't go back over where you've been until that cools down. I want to be careful here because this is where it joins the part that I want to be detailed. So then we can actually go over it like that. And I'll stop it. So I push the button twice. So you get the idea of what it's doing now. So it's actually filling it in. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it over here so you can see it. And I'm going to go the opposite way. So I've started the machine. So now I'm filling. Maybe I'll go straight across. This is a bigger repair than what I normally do, but I wanted something half decent to show you on what it can do. And this is what I call, now only what I call spiderweb. And this gives you an idea. So then we're starting to get a better, see how that's starting to fill it in? And we'll come, where are we here? Where are we? I'm trying to get close to this camera so that everything's good for you. Okay, so now I'm going to start to fill it better. So the light's still green, and we still got quite a bit of filament. So then we start to fill it a little better. That fills it in better. Now, I'm not really worried about which direction I'm going now. I just want to fill it in because also this stuff is very sandable and you can file it and you can grind it, but you got to fill the spot in first. And it's wrapped around my fingers, so it's hopefully it's pulling through okay. And hopefully this is filming good. I know the you everybody knows, of course, it's being videotaped, but I'd like to refresh my memory that I'm. So that's basically what we're doing is we're getting it filled in, and you remember the hole it was before. So now we're doing fine. Let's put that like that. Okay, and before it cools down, we're going to fill these little holes here and fill that in. That, fill that in. You can see what the contour is, but I'm not worried about it being higher. I'm worried about it being strong. I'm going to stop it because it's getting wrapped around my finger. I don't want to put a strain on the machine or the tool, I mean. Okay, so we'll start it up again. This is around the claw. Now I'm going to rebuild that part that goes in there with no problem. Now you could reprint this little the part at the top if you'd like to. But see, for what I'm making here, and I'm not going to say what I'm making because it's going to be a future video, but you might get the idea of seeing what it is by just, and more than likely I could cover this, or I could have filled the hole in with moss or something that looks like moss. But I'm at this point right now, I'm just more worried about getting rid of the hole. And I do like epoxy fill, or I can put glue over top of it, or I could do Bondo. I think Mrs. Vinster's calling me for dinner. So I'm going to finish this hole up here and bring this forward here. There's a little hole in there. I'm going to fill that in. And there's a whole bunch of little holes here that I'm going to fill in with the pen. And there's a hole up here. You can't see it. Right there. Right there. And I'm going to fill that in while I've got the pen ready. Oop, I hit it twice. So when you hit it twice, it stops. Okay, so now the stuff's coming out. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to fill that spot in too. There we go. I don't really like that one, but you can heat this up again with I have a soldering iron that has a flat thing on it, and you can actually blend it in better. I'm just right now worried about getting the holes filled. There's a hole right there that I want to fill. And there, that's filled. All right, and there's some smaller holes too, but we pretty well got it. We pretty well got it. So there we go. We filled it in. It doesn't look pretty, but it's filled in. And I'm thinking that if I level this out, because this is a piece of a log, so it's not going to be a big deal to actually here. Got to push that to level that out, and then to make it look like a log again. It's not a big deal. There we go. Fill in the highs and the lows, little pieces, because I'm gonna more than likely. Get a little carried away there. All right, so that's it there, and there we go. So that's, and then we got the unit here. Okay, so we're done. So we push the button, and this button here, that button there, that button there, nope. That button there, nope. Actually, you know what? I forgot all about it. It's coming out. See how it's coming out right now? So it's coming out. Push that, it stops. So then if you wanted a piece of this stuff just for doing something with, you could. You want to do whiskers or something for something, you could actually lay it out. But after dinner, because I'm going to go up for my supper right now, or else Mrs. Vinster is going to be like, because we ordered pizza. You noticed there was a $20 bill on one of my videos there that went toward pizza. Now, the great thing about it is you can actually file this now. The contour that you want. The hole's all filled in, so you can actually go over with a rasp, clean it up, smaller rasp, and then you can get some putty, put it around, reform it, and it's just like new. It's a great little tool. Okay, here's what I wanted to show you. Now, I'm going to take this just as if you did with the 3D printer. Same idea. And I'm going to rub it on the glass. Just like that. Big enough area. Okay, and I've already fired up the machine, so it won't take too long to key in. So it's heating up. Put a new thing of line in it. Oh, okay, we're green. Okay, so now I'm gonna get ready here. I'm gonna turn that off. And I'm gonna do a little bit of something fun. So I gotta wait for the to feed in. Okay, so it's feeding in. Gonna roll. Wait till it comes out. And a new one. As soon as it gets to the end, it feeds itself in. I don't like to force it in. I like it to grab itself. There you go. So it's coming out at the end now. It's gonna be a little warm. So I'm gonna clean the tip over here. You can't see that. Then I'm gonna take it and I'm going to run it back and forth. Now you could stop that if you want. It depends upon how fast you go. So if you go slower, go slow. And it depends too how you do your squish plate. Just like 3D printing with a 3D printer. Slower you go. And you'll get better. I'm not very good at this right now. It's a little thinner one. It works. Try to keep it on the glass. You can squish it down farther if you push down harder. That might more of a squish. And with this, when you squish it, you can stop it if you want to. I'm going to keep it running. And you stop it. So that's kind of like, it's not a perfect one, but so you can make kind of like a web. Now, I'm going to fill these in with across just for fun. And I could stop it. And I could stop it there. And then start up here. Remember, this is just for fun. I'm not trying to make kind of fun. I'll do a couple more. Now ask me where this one's supposed to go. Not through there, I guess. A little out of whack. But that's, you get the idea. And because we put the glue down, it stays. If you take your time and do this, stop it and go when you need to go, and it would turn out pretty neat. And again, this will then actually retract itself when it starts to cool down. Put my glasses up. I'll sit back a bit. And like I said, the pen, if you don't let the pen do this, you're going to be in trouble because the pen, this is how it cleans itself out. So you kind of want to, God, I use that word all the time. Kind of want to, it sounds like an iguana, but you want to let this pen do its thing. I know it's going to take a few minutes to do it here, but I really think it's important that you see this. It's a great pen. And, oh, here it goes now. So it's actually retracting right now. So it's retracting. You can see my hand going back. It's coming back out. And the reason it does that is it takes it out of the tip, so when it cools down, it doesn't get stuck in there. And then you still got to put it somewhere where it's not going to burn something. And same with this. It's like because we put the glue down, you can actually take this razor blade and go around and lift it up. So you get yourself like kind of like a spider web. It's really neat. It's fun. So if you took your time doing that, you could actually make spider webs for projects or whatever. I just thought it was kind of neat to show you that the reason I do it is because I like to use it for repairing, and then you just take the old glue off, and then we'll clean that up after. But that's really neat. So I hope you enjoyed this, and like I said, there's the name of the product. Got it off Amazon. I can't remember exactly what I paid. If I find out what I paid, I'll put it on the video uh, and show you roughly because I don't know. Some things don't stay the same price, so I don't really want to quote you. And then you go, "Oh, Professor Vincer said it was this price," but when I went on, I found out it was a lot more money. But they are neat to have, and if you don't have one, I think it's a must. I really do. So anyway, till the next video, take care.
Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.